Hello and welcome to Celtic Roots Radio, coming to you today from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Celtic, folk, folk rock, Appalachian, bluegrass, Scottish, Irish, Breton, Cajun. If it's Celtic or roots music you like, you'll find it here on Celtic Roots Radio.
I've an isolated house and a coward to address, a plant garden running by the door, shelter for the hens and a stable for the ass. So what could a man want more? I don't know, maybe so, but a bachelor is easy and he's free. I've plenty to look after though I'm living all alone, so nobody's looking after me. My father often says I should go and have a try to find a girl that owns a bit of land. I love the way he said sure to someone in his eye. My mother has the whole thing planned. I don't know, maybe so, but wouldn't Bella father agree to agree? And there's little Brigid Flynn and it's very love the wind. No, she never has a eye to me. Will she come and have a night to me? Will she go? I don't know. I'd love to have her sitting on my knee. I'd sing like a thrush in a hawthorn bush if she'd only have a night to me. Will she go? I don't know. I'd love to have her sitting on my knee. I'd sing like a thrush in a hawthorn bush if she'd only have a night to me.
Gee, what about yous? Welcome to the Celtic Roots Radio Show. I'm Raymond McCullough here in Belfast with a fresh help on a great new music and a wee bit of crack for myself. And we started the show off today with little Brigid Flynn from a Michigan USA band called Bill Grogan's Goat. Our show this week is sponsored by my own book, which I just completed writing last week, called The Whore and Her Mother, 9/11, Babylon and the Return of the King. I started to write it after the events of 9/11, and it asks whether the ancient Hebrew prophets have anything to tell us about modern day and future events. It's already up on Amazon and will soon be available on Kindle and Nook. You can actually pre-order it from Amazon UK or from the Book Depository, and you can read several chapters for free or listen to them on iTunes podcast. All that info is on a new The Whore and Her Mother page on Facebook, or you can follow the book on Twitter. And as you're still commenting on the show, Brad Connors from Halifax, Nova Scotia in Canada left a message on our Celtic Roots Cafe site. Love your radio show. I usually download the podcast and then listen to you on my drive to work. I've always been a big fan of Celtic music, and your show is a great source of good music. I'm coming to Belfast, Ireland in 2013 with our fire department's pipe band for the World Police and Fire Games, and love hearing some of your stories about the different places in Ireland. As far as I know, my father's family came to Halifax, Nova Scotia from Dingle Bay in County Kerry in the late 1700s, so I plan to visit that part of the country when I'm there. Maybe you could talk about the region in one of your shows. Anyway, keep up the great work. All the best. Thanks, Brad. Glad you enjoy the new music we have to offer. I've spent a few days down in the Kingdom of Kerry, as it's known, In fact, I'm hoping to pay a wee visit to that part of the world very soon, so you never know, I might find a few things to say about it soon. We now have well over 60 members in our Celtic Roots Cafe network, and that's where you'll find information about many of our artists and bands, over 40 great new music videos, photos, forum posts and a blog. Just click the cafe button on our main website, CelticRootsRadio.com. This show's now being downloaded in over 100 countries around the world, with 5,000 or 6,000 listeners to each show. We now have listeners in places like Bosnia-Herzegovina, Croatia, Latvia and Georgia, Bangladesh and Nepal, Tunisia, Yemen and Syria, Uruguay, Dominican Republic and Cuba. So please keep in touch with us through email, Facebook message, Twitter or our cafe site. And do go to your local iTunes store and review the show for us. And drop us a wee email to let us know in case we miss it. You'll find all our other podcasts on iTunes too. Just put Raymond McCullough into the search box. And remember, in between our podcast shows, you can listen to Celtic Roots Radio all day long, complete with all the crack from myself, on our 24/7 Live 365 station. We've just added around 40 new tracks to the playlist, and you can find that on our website too. We're listening now to Michael Tanenbaum from Hawaii, USA, with To Dance With You.
landlord's daughter and me a tenant's son. As children we would laugh and play, our childhoods were as one. Hiding from our father's gaze, hand in hand we'd run. Together laying down, we'd watch the setting sun. From the hills that slope down to the cemetery walls, with its gates cloaked with ivy and moss. And we stayed there until at last we heard her father howl in the shade of the old high cross. As we grew older, there was no escaping fate. Neither one could stop it, and neither one could wait. Not on these grounds, I whispered, for the forces here are great. So are mine, she laughed and pulled me down beside the iron gate. And the hills, they sloped down to the cemetery walls, and we lay without but they found her body on the rocks below. From the hills that slope down to the cemetery grounds, with its grave hard with ice and frost. In the trees I hid and watched as they lowered her down, beneath the shadow of the old high cross. When they came to arrest me, I didn't understand, but her father said he saw me take her life with my own hands. Never would I hurt her, I wept upon the stand, but who would they believe me or the man who held the land? I can see the hill slope down to the cemetery lawn, and I wonder whether love is worth the cost. As I lay here and use prison cell and count the hours till dawn, when they hang me from the old high cross.
That was the tragic story of the Old High Cross from the Blarney Rebel Band in New York, USA. Well, the sun is shining and here I am inside, working on a new show. It's a hard life, isn't it? Yesterday I was sitting out in the sunshine in the middle of Armagh City, chilling out while I waited for a gig to begin. County Armagh is famous for growing apples. There are orchards all over the county. But of course, the thing most people think of when you mention Armagh is South Armagh, which is on the border and famous or infamous for a lot of things, including smuggling. In the past, pigs, cattle or sheep would arrive at a farm near the border and disappear down a wee tunnel, only to reappear on the other side of the border where they would fetch a better price, of course. Animals would sometimes get shipped from as far away as England, be brought to South Armagh where they would vanish and then magically appear on the other side of the border to make a lot of money for those involved. One of the most lucrative smuggling operations is that of diesel and petrol. Tankers will arrive at a farm near the border and the fuel will be pumped across the tanks on the other side. Whenever the price of fuel goes the other way, the pumps operate in the opposite direction, so the owners will make money no matter what way the economy goes, as long as there's a differential between north and south. The roads along the Irish border lend themselves to all this smuggling activity. The border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland was drawn up in 1924 or so, after the Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921. The idea was to allow Roman Catholic enclaves, which now found themselves in the north, to become part of the south. The three-man boundary commission travelled all over the border areas in 1924-25, taking submissions, but ended up only recommending one Catholic town, Crossmaglen in County Armagh, for transfer. Leaks of this report in 1925 caused a political crisis in the south, and in the end the border was kept pretty much as it had been. As they said at the time, the Boundary Commission surveyed a lot, proposed little and achieved nothing. This is Don and Margie Beaton from Nova Scotia, Canada, on a tune called Saved by the Milkman.
you know all my problems, Mama, you tell me yours. You've been alone for a long, long time. It's left you thinking you got nowhere to go. Sometimes love's a hard road, I know. Now your mother loves to sing those sad Irish tunes. Then she'll ask me to join her in the rising of the moon. She remembers all the names of her friends back there somehow, and memories are all that please her now. Problems, Mama, you tell me yours. You've been alone for a long, long time. It's left you thinking you got nowhere to go. Sometimes love's a hard road, I know. Sometimes love's a hard road, I know. Sometimes love's a hard road, I know.
That song was called Sad Irish Tunes from Randy Burns in New York City. The result of a former county boundary becoming an international border is a pretty complex wiggly line that keeps crossing major roads. The main N53 road from Dundalk, County Louth to Castleblaney, County Monaghan crosses through South Armagh and becomes the northern A37 for a while. It's known as the concession road because the two governments agreed not to have a customs post on this road. The same thing happens with the main N54 road from Monaghan to Cavan, which crosses the border a total of 4 times between Clonus and Butler's Bridge. People who live in the middle bit in Clonfad or Rarana, a peninsula of Southern Ireland extending into Fermanagh, can only get to any other part of Southern Ireland by crossing an international border twice. Some of the northern townlands are in the same position. There's always been a history of smuggling in South Armagh, the most famous place being the aforementioned town of Crossmaglen, which is in South Armagh, but 4 of the 6 roads out of it lead across the border into County Monaghan or County Louth. The famous Tommy Makem wrote a song, Whiskey and Me Tay, about this town. So all you bold teetotalers, if sober you may be careful of your company and mind what happened to me. 'Twas not the boys from Monaghan, nor the lads from Ballybay, but the Dalen men from Crossmaglen, but Whiskey and Me Tay. We've been listening to Don and Marjorie Beaton once again from Nova Scotia in the second part of Saved by the Milkman. was a band called Mississippi Shakedown, not from Mississippi but from New South Wales, Australia, and a song called If You Leave Here Tomorrow.
If you leave here tomorrow, how will I linger on?
I'm going to leave us with a bit of soul music from an album called Soul. This is Soulmate from the Tom Nolan Band in California. Take it easy now, Slan.
We've been so high and we've been so low, but we take each other wherever we go. I wake up every day looking for you. I give thanks every night when I put my arms around you. You're my soulmate, baby. It's physical. You're my soulmate, baby. It's spiritual. There's only one thing I know is true. You were meant for me. I was meant for you. This is instinct, baby, but I know it's true. Something clicked when I finally found you. We were meant to be lovers, raise a family, meant to stay together. You're my destiny. You're my soulmate, baby. It's physical. You're my soulmate, baby. It's spiritual. There's only one thing I know is true. You are meant for me. I was meant for you. I went looking for love round the world, alone, incomplete, looking for you, girl. I quit looking, and there you were. All these years later, you're still right here. You're my soulmate, baby. It's physical. You're my soulmate, baby. It's spiritual. There's only one thing I know is true. You are meant for me. I was meant for you. Meant for you. Like salt has pepper, like spring has rain, like night has day, like life has pain, like the city has people, like the river has the sea. I'll always have you and you'll always have me. You're my soulmate, baby. It's physical. You're my soulmate, baby. It's spiritual. There's only one thing I know is true. You were meant for me. And I know you're my soulmate, baby. It's physical. You're my soulmate, baby. It's spiritual. There's only one thing I know is true. You were meant for me, baby. I was meant for you. You're my soulmate, baby. You're my soulmate, baby. You're my soulmate, baby. You're my soulmate, baby.
Well, that's all we have time for on this show. Remember, you can find out more information about the artists and songs played on the show on our website at CelticRootsRadio.com. And if you're an independent artist and you'd like to hear your music played on this show, again, you'll find details on our website. That's CelticRootsRadio.com. Tune in again next week to Celtic Roots Radio. I'm Raymond McCullough, coming to you from Ireland. Slán agus Banagia.